Alright, hello everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about this mouse right here, the Logitech G Pro X Superlight. However, I want to talk about this mouse in kind of a different context than how everybody else talks about it. Most other people, when they talk about the mouse, compare it pretty much exclusively to the Razer Viper Ultimate, and sometimes they also bring in the latest one, oh my god, what is it? It's the egg that Razer made. And I feel like comparing it to other wireless mice gives you a very clear conclusion for this mouse. However, I don't think that it is the end-all be-all conclusion of the G Pro X Superlight. So, right here I have my old G Pro wireless. I put plenty of hours into it. This was my main mouse for quite some time. And then I also, right here, have the Razer Viper Ultimate, which is probably the second best wireless mouse that isn't made by Final Mouse. And I want to use this as a comparison point for the wireless mouse conversation as well. So, first off, ways in which this mouse has gotten better. It has, they have better clicks now on this mouse. However, again, also put a lot of time into this mouse, so there's a chance that the clicks on this mouse feel worse than they do on this one, just because I put more time into it. But the clicks on the Superlight definitely feel better than the clicks on the wireless. The scroll wheel is more tactile and quieter. I don't know if you hear that. That's a Superlight, and then this is the wireless. The wireless is definitely louder. Big thing, the side buttons on the Superlight are a lot better. And that is because on the wireless, they have to have the system, of being able to take off the side buttons, because the wireless had the whole thing of, it can be ambidextrous, you can actually switch the buttons on both sides. The Superlight does not have that gimmick. It is just a wireless mouse with a symmetrical shape made for left-hand use only. Sorry, not left-hand, right-hand use only. Additionally, if you look at the bottom, the mouse skates have changed. They've combined all three of these into one, and then the mouse skate on top is just one big one instead of a relatively large one and then a lot of open space. Additionally, although both of these have aftermarket skates on them, the stock skates on the Superlight are 100% PTFE. They are fucking dog shit. Some of the worst stock feet I've used, but they are still better than the G Pro wireless. And they are 100% PTFE feet. I believe they'll last you a while. They're not good. They're very slow. They're very scratchy. But if you're fine with them, they'll last you a long time. And then also there's no DPI switch on the bottom. To change the DPI on the Superlight, you have to go into the software and manually change it. So, and then there's also no RGB. So all of these changes, for somebody like me who is a collegiate Overwatch player, I don't really care about all those little frills like a DPI switch and RGB and switching buttons to other sides. However, that's not really like a bell and whistle type thing. That is a usability thing. If you're left-handed, the G Pro wireless is still probably the best option for you. But if you're right-handed, Superlight's just better. If you're super casual, you care about RGB a lot, you care about being able to switch between DPI levels, the wireless, I guess, is better for you. However, this mouse is 20 grams lighter, and it is significantly better in pretty much every way. Better clicks, better weight, better mouse feet. So the Superlight pretty much entirely outclasses the G Pro wireless for anyone that isn't like a very casual gamer. And then, so that's the wireless. Again, I want to compare it to the Viper Ultimate. So the biggest difference for these is shape. This is much more of an FK shape. It feels very much like a modified FK shape. Is it more comfortable? Not necessarily. Personally, I find that the slope on the right is much more comfortable than the Viper Ultimate. I prefer the Superlight shape to the Viper shape. However, the Viper shape has a whole bunch of fans, and I definitely cannot say this is a bad shape. This is the type of situation where both are good shapes, it's just a matter of which one you prefer, and that is kind of the only thing that matters between these two mice. The Viper, it has RGB, it has the buttons on both sides. This mouse feels kind of like the middle ground between the wireless and the Superlight. It's about 10 grams lighter than the wireless. It has better mouse skates. These are, again, core pads. These are aftermarket mouse skates. However, it comes with its own PTFE feet, which are actually better than the stock Superlight feet. It comes with a charging stand. The charging stand is not a reason to look past the Superlight. There is an aftermarket charging stand for Logitech wireless mice that I highly recommend. But the reality is that this mouse comes with a charging stand. It's a better charging stand. This one you have to buy one aftermarket. Additionally, the Razer Viper Ultimate has the DPI switch on the bottom. It has optical clicks, which I think are actually worse than the Superlight, but it saves you maybe 2 milliseconds. It has a better scroll wheel. It has worse side buttons. I think it's a worse mouse overall than the Superlight. However, if you're deciding between like these two, I'd pick the Viper Ultimate. It's also $20 cheaper than the Superlight and is available 100% of the time. And again, it all comes down to shape. Like, this is definitely a more contoured shape. This is a shape that they've put more, I don't know if I'd say they put more work into, because there's something to be said that every single person in the world can use this mouse and get a comfortable grip. I stand by that. Like, this is a mouse that every single grip type, every single hand size works with. This mouse it has more aggressive angles. It has a more contoured shape. Like, this is a mouse that, if it works for you, is going to be excellent, but it might not work for you. So, this mouse, I definitely still recommend it, and if you are a fan of the Viper shape, this is a really, really, really good wireless mouse, and all the features are there. You do have to use Razer Synapse, which is a big downside, but other than that, it's a great mouse. It's just a matter of if you actually prefer the Razer Viper shape. And then, this is a super, super side note. These are both over $130 for the mouse. If you want to try one of these mice, go to Best Buy, pick it up in person so you can return it in person without like dealing with Amazon returns. These are big investments for a mouse. I do not recommend trying out all of these different shapes if you don't just have disposable income, because right here on the table I have $430 worth of mice, 2 of which I don't use. I mean, this mouse, to be fair, I don't use because I upgraded, and I used to use this mouse quite a bit. And I guess I use the Viper every now and then, but like, if you are not 100% certain that a new mouse is going to be your main, and it's this expensive, make sure you can return it. Okay. So, things about this mouse that I have not mentioned yet. It has USB, it's micro USB. So many fucking reviewers, oh my god, for the last 5 years have been shitting on Logitech for using micro USB. I forget where I heard this, and this is really something I should like be citing, but the implementation of micro USB weighs less than the implementation for USB-C. And that is the reason that all of these super light wireless mice are using micro USB. It's the reason that the Final Mouse uses micro USB. It's the reason that Logitech and Razer are using micro USB, because it weighs less to implement. You will hear people in their videos talking about how micro USB is on this like $150 mouse, and they'll be like, oh, USB-C only costs like 13 cents more per unit to upgrade. It is not about the price. It is about the fact that the implementation of USB-C weighs more than the implementation of micro USB. I just wanted to make sure that I bring that up, because every single review I have seen for this mouse complains about micro USB, and it does not explain why it's micro USB. So as I'm going into the features of this mouse, I want to bring that up. Sensor, this mouse has the 25K Hero sensor, absolutely no flaws with it. Every mouse that I reviewed on this channel actually has absolutely 0 flaws with the sensor, but seeing as this is a more in-depth review of this specific mouse, I wanted to bring that up. All the buttons, I believe, are Omron 20M. Logitech, of course, has issues with double-clicking. If you get double-clicking, there's ways to fix that, but I want to bring that up because if you get a Razer Viper Ultimate, you are never going to have double-clicking. These use optical clicks. You're never going to have double-clicking. If you really just don't want to deal with replacing clicks or RMAing a mouse, I mean, this mouse, I have never heard of anybody having quality control issues with Razer Viper Ultimate. I've never had anybody having quality control issues with the G Pro Superlight itself, but the switches, they have massive quality control issues. However, I will leave a link to Ents in the description below. He is a mouse modder whose basically entire platform and store is structured around putting new switches in Logitech mice. So there are reliable sources for it. and if it happens super early, probably RMA it. If it happens later, just upgrade the clicks. The stock feet that it comes with are absolutely garbage. I believe that there's some video on this channel in which I do a glide test with the stock feet, but they're fucking terrible. Like, do not get the stock feet. Right here, these are just core pads. Any sort of aftermarket skate will be a big upgrade. However, if you might have realized that at this point, I am talking about a lot of things that you need to get for this mouse to make it a good mouse, right? Like the Razer Viper Ultimate, $130 comes with the dock in the box. It comes with decent passable mouse skates out of the box. Realistically, to get a G Pro X Superlight that is worth using, you're going to end up spending pretty much $200. You're going to need to spend $10 to get aftermarket mouse skates. You're going to need to spend $30 for the charging dock. This is an incredibly expensive mouse. Is it worth the money? I don't know. Is it arguably the best mouse and a mouse that you will 100% like? Yes. If you spend $200 on this mouse, you won't need to upgrade for some time. You might want to try out other mice. There might be other mice that are more comfortable for you. There might be other mice that you can aim slightly better with. But the features of this mouse are excellent. The shape is excellent. If you put aftermarket mouse skates and you get the charging dock for it, it is an excellent all-around mouse. I think part of the issue is that you are spending $200 for it for a unsculpted shape. I mean, when I say unsculpted, I want to make sure that you guys know that I don't mean that this is a bad shape. This is an excellent shape. What Logitech has done with this mouse, making a mouse that literally everybody can use and be very comfortable with, is very impressive. The issue is that this is sort of a jack of all trades type of mouse. Like, everybody can use this mouse and probably play at 90% of their peak. This is not going to be the 100% peak mouse for anybody. You will find I don't use the G Pro X Superlight as my main. I use the NP01 because this is a mouse that feels like it fits like a glove in my hand. It has better clicks. It has a scroll wheel that I prefer for gaming. As you guys know, I am a 2-mouse setup person. I use the MX Master 3 for browsing. I use this mouse for gaming. So that is why whenever I'm reviewing a mouse, I might say that the NP01 has a great scroll wheel, and that's because it is excellent for gaming. You can bound your jump to it and be really effective. You can bound abilities to it. I like the scroll wheel a lot for gaming. It is dog shit for browsing. So I do not review mice for browsing. If you want to find a productivity mouse, get an MX Master 3, get an MX Vertical, get a G502 Hyperspeed. Like, I don't review mice for gaming because I've found I only review mice for gaming because I've found my productivity end game. Like, this is the mouse I will be using for productivity until something better comes along. And I'm not interested in trying out mice for productivity because I have my MX Master 3. So this is an excellent mouse. The shape is excellent. My issue with it is that it's $200 to get it to a state where you actually am going to be using it, and it is the best option. And the shape is not perfect. Logitech did a thing where they made a mouse that everybody can aim to 90% of their, in terms of shape-wise, strictly shape-wise, to 90% of their peak. They have not made a mouse that anybody can aim with 100% of their peak. That being said, the low weight and the wireless might get you that extra 10% over something like the NP01. Like, if your endgame shape is an FK2, right? An FK2 will always have a cable. It will always be 80-something grams. And unless you want to get this mouse heavily modded, those are going to be the case. If you get this mouse, it may be $200. But maybe that 25 gram deficit and maybe that lack of cable gets you that 10%. So I highly, highly recommend this mouse. I think this is an incredible mouse, but it is not the end-all be-all of mice like some reviewers have made it look. This is a mouse that you can buy and never buy another mouse and probably be content. However, if you are playing games at the highest level, and you need an incredibly sculpted shape that is perfect to your hand, this might not be the mouse for you. And I just want to make sure that my review point is very clear here, because everybody hypes up this mouse. It is a mouse worthy of hyping up. It has the best features of any mouse out right now. It has an incredible weight, incredible wireless implementation, but it is, one, really fucking expensive, and two, it is a jack of all trades, master of none shape, and you won't really... There might be a shape out there that is better for you than this one. And then a few last notes before I wrap up the interview. Build quality is super solid. There's absolutely no creaking or flex anywhere on the mouse. However, the clicks can do this super weird thing. I don't know if you see it there. I don't know if you see that, but they can like really depress right there. That's kind of the only like quality build quality type of thing I would note. And then other than that, I think I've sort of touched on everything for this mouse. So sorry about the super long video, but I wanted to go really in depth on this mouse and talk about a lot of things with this mouse, because I think that the jack of all trades, master of none shape is something that I have not seen a reviewer talk about, because the reality is, like, this is a fantastic shape. Everybody will be able to aim well with it, but I don't think anybody can aim perfectly with it. And I think that if you are a pro player, if you are top 1% of the player base in your game, and you are looking, like, let's say right now you have your FK and you're looking for your next mouse that has updated features and will give you a very nice sculpted shape you can aim perfectly with, this one might not be it. That being said, though, again, the really good implementation of features might get you that 10% over a better shape. So yeah, I just wanted to make a review of this mouse, because I've been using it now for a few weeks. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. And by the way, I am starting to get many more views on my videos. So I'm going to try to start saying, like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe at the end of the videos. I might also start saying it at the beginning, who knows. But my videos have actually started getting enough reach recently that I feel like asking for subscribers and likes is actually something that will get me traction. Yeah, if you guys want an actual dedicated video of the charging dock, I can do that. It's a super short, like 5-minute video, but this video is already running on 17.5 minutes, so I don't really want to add on another 5 minutes of talking about a charging dock. But if you guys want that, request it and I'll totally make that video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.